You want us to introduce ourselves?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my name is Muhammad Sagir Usman, Secretary General for African Youth Movement. So yeah, I welcome and nice meeting you here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can look on the next person so that we proceed, please.
Okay, so I wanted it to be in the order of our from the national executive downwards. So I don't really know everyone here, like those who are at the national level. I don't want to mix it up. That was why I wanted it to be voluntary. Hence, you know, you're at the national level. Introduce yourself.
Good evening. I'm NF Felix, the national.
Good evening. Good evening, sir. Welcome.
So, National Coordinator Abaka, please go on.
Mr. NFL, please go on.
VP. Abaka.
Yes, I've been having issues with network. Good evening to you all. So sorry for the delay and listen. Hello, can you hear me, Mr. Bashir? Mr. Sagir, sorry.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
So I can see you have the light here too. So.
Okay, I don't know what am I going to say.
It's just an introduction. She requested for an introduction.
Okay.
For the national members, yes.
Okay, my name is Abubakar Yusuf Abubakar. I'm the Vice President 1, Tri-Africa Youth Movement. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, sir. Hamdalat.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Adebayo Hamdala Tabiola, and I'm the head of IT. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome, ma.
So you can proceed.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. So
okay.
I'll be calling other persons. I'll be calling when I call your name. You give a brief introduction. All right, please, Adele Enchi, can you please introduce yourself?
But remember, our elders are here, so yes, so they are here. I think if you cannot be able to recognize the participant, so you can just proceed with the topic and yes, continue with the discussion.
Okay.
So that
no
you
problem.
should not mix up. You should not mix up. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll be welcoming our guest speaker. The person of Mr. Comrade Austin Ojoba for his presentation.
All right, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Good evening.
All right, I just want to be clear. How many minutes do we have for this presentation?
Presentation is supposed to be for 90 minutes, but we've spent roughly 25 minutes.
Okay, all right. Okay, good evening, executives. Good evening, noble members of the Tri-Africa Youth Movement. My name is Adelia Ruchi, and I'll be speaking in the stead of my director, Comrade Austin Ojoba. I am the Deputy Director of Rivers State Tri-Africa Movement. Okay, from the team of this webinar, we're going to be talking about the impact of youth movements on national development. So just to be clear that I'm ahead, I'll be looking at the chat box. If at some point my voice breaks or you can't hear me, do well to drop it on the chat box so I'll check my network. Please, goodness, confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you right on.
All right. So for this section, I'm going to be running us through what youth movement is and the impacts on national development, as well as the challenges that we face and how we can also curb these challenges. You know, across history, young people move, like they move changes, they make motions, and the question is not about whether youth movements matter. No, that's not the question. The question is really what impact we've had on national development. Now, these movements that we've made, what impact have they had on national development? And also, when we want to talk about this topic, we also have to ask ourselves what would happen if young people in the country decide to stop speaking up, like we decide to stop innovating, we decide to stop organizing ourselves, we decide to stop creating movements. So why we're doing this today so we can remind ourselves and enlighten ourselves on what impact we have on national development of our states and country at large. So I'll be telling us what youth movement is. A youth movement is an organized effort by young people to drive social, political, economic, or cultural change. It's a group of youths that come together with a particular goal to say, okay, this is what we want to achieve. It can be formal, like an organization, like a union. It can also be informal, something that we just do online, something that we sit in our huts beside our houses. So I also want to tell us how youth movements can drive national development. And this will be into four aspects. I mean, we are young people, so definitely would have to do some social changes, political engagement, economic growth, accountability, good governance. Youth movements, youth organizations rally around these four impact areas. And I'll be taking us through each impact area and what we can do in this impact area. So the first one is social change. Youth movements challenge harmful norms and promote equality. So I'm going to be giving us examples that are particular to Nigeria and globally. For example, we want a social change. Let's say an advocacy for education, for gender equality, for a particular mental health awareness. For instance, the SDG goals have said equality for all genders. Now, the youth movement can choose to say, okay, we want to work on this particular SDG goals. They've said zero hunger. We want to work on this particular SDG goals. So these are the kind of things that youth movements can do, and that's how they can drive national engagements by coming to say, okay, we come together as a group and we want this particular social change. So one of the things that youth movements can drive at is social changes. And then the second one is political engagement. There's a tag going around social media that says not too young to rule. And these are things that youth movements can drive. They increase voter awareness, just like we're telling people now, oh, go get your PVC, go register go register with INEC. So we can drive voter awareness, we can push reforms, we can say, okay, we want to support this particular candidate because the person aligns with our goals. That's what we can do as youth. We can drive political engagement. You know, young voices often force leaders to listen. That's just the truth about it. It might seem insignificant when youths gather to say, okay, this is what we want to do. But if we continue at it consistently, you see that it drives leaders to listen. Somehow you see them trying to bend the rules or trying to agree to what we have to say. So the third one is economic growth and innovation. Youth-led initiatives drive entrepreneurship, tech innovation, and job creation. I mean, we're in the world of technology, and if you are online, if you're on social media, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, you see a whole lot of tech startups. There's TS Academy that I'm aware of, and there's TED Africa, which I've been following for quite a number of years. What these youth movements, these youth bodies, these formal youth organizations do is that they want to drive entrepreneurship. They want to see young entrepreneurs. You hear small scale SMEs business, small scale organizations being supported. So we can drive economic growth and innovation via tech. We can say, okay, this is a tech organization and we want to train a certain number of people per year. We want to empower them with such skills. And then it goes a long way to help job creation too. I don't know if you know, but there are so many non-conventional banks, Money Point, Cowrie Rise, all those banks are being spearheaded by youths, and they have created a lot of job opportunities for young people as well. You could see very young people working, trying to fix the IT section of that particular bank. So what we can do as youths that will impact national development is also accountability and good governance. I would take Nigeria, for instance, the NSAS movement that happened about 3 years ago. It was we are saying, okay, we do not want the SAS units to operate anymore. Like, we do not want them to keep on harassing us. So youths can gather as a movement and say, okay, we want accountability. We want to see what our House of Rep member is doing. We want our House of Assembly member to show us his scorecard. So youth movements can act as watchdogs. We can say, okay, we are regulating it. We are saying, okay, so far so good. We've not seen what this person is doing. No, this person can't go back to that particular position. We want someone new. So we can impact by amplifying transparency and by also fighting corruption. Like I said earlier, we have real life examples. For instance, the NSAS movement, and somewhere in the Western world, there was the climate activism that was led by young people globally, where they stopped to say, okay, what we are doing, the affairs of humans are affecting the climate. So real life examples that we can see around us are these protests that we do in Nigeria. Another real life example is the Tri-Africa Youth Movement coming together to say, yes, we demand good governance from our leaders. So despite this impact that we can make as youth movements, the social change, the political engagement, the economic growth and innovation, the accountability and good governance, we also have challenges. Youth movements face a whole lot of challenges. We're going to be realistic. I'll be running us through some of the challenges that we face, and then I'm going to take us to how we can maximize it. How can we curb these challenges? How can we solve this particular problem? One of the challenges that we face at youth movements is lack of structure or sustainability. Now, it is easy to start something. It's easy to say, okay, I have this vision. I want to move this motion. I want to make this particular change. But over time, you see that there is no structure. You have to, there's this saying that if you want to go far, okay, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go with people. You need structure, you need vision bearers, you need people around you who can say, okay, I agree to what you are saying, and I also want to achieve the same things. So one of the challenges we face is the lack of structure or sustainability, the ability to sustain it, to keep it going for quite a while. And then we have another challenge, limited funding and resources. There's no fund or there's no financial support to support these our movements. Also, in resources, we can also have manpower. We do not have the amount of people we need to push this. I would always hinge back to the NSAS movement, because that's by far one of the biggest youth movements we've had in Nigeria. For instance, the NSAS movement, I'm pretty sure if we had 200 youths go to the Lekki toll gates, or let's say 100 youths, it wouldn't have made that much impact. But a whole lot of people came out. So we need both human resources and material resources. And then the third challenge that we have been facing is government resistance. Clear case example, when you protest in your various LGAs or in your various states about a particular thing that you don't sit right with. You see police people, you see government officials, you see government security people trying to come and stop you. Even online, cyberbullying, you go online and you try to pass a message as a youth movement, and you see people countering what you have to say, or you see a government official replying you personally. So we face government resistance as a problem. And then the fourth one, which is what I term as one of the most difficult challenge we have as youth movements, is internal division. Internal division, we are 12, or we started as 12, and we agreed that yes, we would vote Mr. A in, or this is what we want. And then somewhere along the line, there's now a faction, there's now a cartel inside the youth movement that says, no, we no longer agree to what you are doing. Trust me, once there's that division internally, it's going to affect our output, like it's going to affect what we tend to achieve. So internal division is one of the greatest challenges that youth movements face, and it can really, really impair our judgments. It can impair our goals that we want to achieve on creating national development. So now that we've talked about some of the challenges that youth movements face, I mean, we've talked about lack of structure or sustainability. We've talked about limited funding or resources. We've talked about government resistance, and we've talked about internal division. We're going to be talking about how we can maximize this impact that we're trying to make on national development. The reason why we have gathered, the reason why African Youth Movement was formed. How can we maximize it? How can we make the best use of it? The first thing that we can do for ourselves as a group or as a youth movement is to be informed. There's a saying that knowledge is power, and there's almost a traditional African saying that what you do not know is way bigger than you. So you have to be informed. You have to keep yourself knowledgeable. Be knowledgeable about what you're going to do. For instance, the 2027 election is coming up. As leaders of the group, as members of the group as well, the onus is not just on the leaders, but on all of us who are vision bearers of the African Youth Movement. We have to be informed of what is going on around Nigeria. We need to know, okay, these are the candidates that are coming out. We need to know, get informed as to what is going to happen. So be informed, read books, check online, follow sites that pass correct information, and also share right information. Another thing that we can do is to be strategic. Now, there's this thing that happens online so much where we are reactive. Nigerian youths are very reactive. We're not strategic. We play emotions into everything. Now, there's a story online and you just want to react to it without clearly looking at it, without clearly trying to see what the root cause of the problem is and trying to modify ways to solve it. So, if we must excel as a youth movement and if we must impact in our national development, we have to be strategic. We have to think logically. And though that onus falls mostly on our leaders to be able to direct us aright, to be strategic with their thoughts and decisions. Another thing that we can do in this modern age is to use digital platforms responsibly. There's a reason why there are social media apps everywhere. For instance, what happened in Nigeria, that there was somebody, the DJ, who went live. If she didn't go live, most of us would not know what happened at Lekki toll gate. So we need to use the digital platforms responsibly, emphasis on responsibly, because in as much as we say, oh, social media has done much good, it has also done harm, because people syndicate a lot of false information on social media. People use social media to destroy or to kind of block out somebody's hard work or image. So we must learn to use digital platforms responsibly by sharing the correct informations, by keeping people updated. I mean, this is what we are doing. This is what African Youth Movement is about. If people do not know about us, they will not be able to buy into our visions and ideas. So another thing that we can do as a youth movement is to collaborate. Now you see people who are on top collaborating, and then people who are below are always fighting. So we need to take away the comparison mentality. We need to take away the competition. I want to be the star. I want to be the star executive. I want to be the one who is always. We need to take away competition and collaborate. Collaborate towards our goal. Collaborate towards what the group was formed for. So as a youth movement that wants to aim at national development, that wants to actually make an impact, we need to collaborate and not compete. We don't need to compare ourselves. We don't need to say, okay, oh, this person is doing better than me. No, that's not what the goal is. The goal is to achieve it as a group. So take collaboration to the next level. Take sharing information amongst executives to the next level. There's no need to hoard information. There's no need to say, okay, I do not want to tell this person because XXX reasons. You need to collaborate. You need to hear other people's idea. Another thing we can do is to stay consistent. Now, this is very important because we, like Africans, we love seeing things happen at the snap of our fingers. Like, okay, if it doesn't happen now, it means the goal is false. If it doesn't happen now, oh, these people are jokers. Now, change takes a whole lot of time. So what we need to do is to stay consistent. What we need to do is to sustain it. We have codes of conduct. We have our goals and objectives. We need to follow them. We need to stay consistent and believe in the goal. And one thing I would also add is that we need to be open to ideas. We need to be open to new ideas. Like, there's no silo mentality. We do not need silo mentalities. We do not need people who say, okay, this is what we are going to do, and that's fine now. We need to be open to ideas. We need to at least give listening ears to people who have contributions to make, because it's all about innovation. Like, we want to innovate, we want to be accountable, we want to have integrity as a group. These are values that we should hold on to if we must continue to grow. We need to be open to innovation, we need to have integrity, we need to deliver quality services only, and we must be accountable for our actions. So I will leave us with this closing remark, reminding us that we talked about some of the impacts we can make, from social change to political engagement to economic growth and innovation to accountability and good governance. And we also ran through the challenges that we face as youth movements: lack of structure, limited funding, government resistance, and internal division. We also talked about what we can do to maximize our impact. We talked about being informed, we talked about being strategic, we talked about using digital platforms responsibly, we talked about collaboration, we talked about consistency, and we talked about being open to new ideas. So I'll wrap this section of our impacts as a youth movement by saying that youth movements are not just about protest. We need to go away from that mentality that, oh yes, we no go agree, we no go agree. We need to leave that particular mentality. It's not just about protest, they're about purpose. They're not about noise, they're about building the nation. And the future of any nation is not written in government offices alone. It is not only people who are in government power that have the ability to write the future of the nations, but it is in the courage of its young people. Young people drive these notions, young people bring out these innovative ideas. So the real question is not if youths can change a nation. That is not what the real question is. The real question is, are we ready to change it? Are we ready to make these changes? Are we going to go beyond our hashtags? Are we going to go beyond the protests? Are we going to go beyond the colorful t-shirts and the colorful face cap? The question is, are we ready to? So I need us to reflect over these things and decide within ourselves that as a youth movement, as African youth movement, we are going to actually make impacts on national development of Nigeria, and then we'll take it across to the continent, Africa. Thank you very much.
Youth movements are not
Wow.
just about protests, but purpose. Are we ready to make the change we want? Thank you so much, our speaker, Andele Enchi. We sincerely appreciate. This is a powerful speech, a powerful presentation. Thank you so much. So I believe we have lots of questions, we have lots of contributions, and I want us to make it so straightforward, direct, so that there'll be room and enough time for everyone to speak and ask their questions. So if you have a question, it's either you drop it on the chat box or you signify, you just drop a thumbs up so I can call you and you ask your questions or contributions. Thank you. I don't want to believe that we don't have questions or contributions because this presentation was mind blowing. It was powerful. So we should be asking questions. Should be making, what are your contributions? What are your questions? Please, someone should unmute and say something.
Go ahead and just applaud Adele for that powerful presentation. It gives me a lot of hope and joy. She spoke so eloquently and passionately, and I think this is a speech that every Nigerian youth, every African youth must hear. And I just pray that this becomes the mantra or the foundation. This speech here becomes something that resonates with every one of us as we continue building this nation. I just want to thank you, Miss Adele, for that powerful, very powerful, insightful, motivating, inspiring. I mean, I've run out of words. It really does give us hope that Nigeria is ready. It's not whether you are ready, it's if Nigeria, whether Nigeria is ready or not, you are ready and you have stepped into your role, not as leaders of tomorrow, but as leaders of today. So I thank you for that powerful speech, applauding you and really, really rooting for you. Great things are coming. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ma.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. So please, Mr. Abubakar Abba Umar, can you please unmute? Abubakar Umar. Okay. Mr. Paul Sunday, can you please unmute and say something?
Yeah, good evening. I just want to add some little things to what our amiable speaker have said already. What I want us to know about when we talk about youth movement. Youth movement is a powerful tool in national development. I would rather say it is very, very important in our society these days, because we see that most of us were, before we were grown up, they were telling us we are the leaders of tomorrow. But we see that most of our fathers are still in governance since when we were born. So youth movements have greatly contributed to national development in many ways, which our speakers have said through political awareness and civic participation. I would rather say that through organized campaigns, seminars, and advocacy programs, which young people comes together, become more informed about governance, the democracy, and the responsibilities as a citizen, not just living the governance that I'm not concerned about it. It's not my problem. That is the beginning of our problem in this country. When we show I don't care attitude towards a thing, uh, my vote is not count. I can't do this. Even if I vote, they will not count. Just try to do what we call your civic responsibility as a youth. So when we organize a program about governance democracy, I think this will also help in the national development, because it will build a society where people actively participate in nation building. She also talked about that youth movement encourage leadership development. Yes. So when we talk about being a movement and being the power of leadership, I know many great leaders today started from youth organizations like this. So where they learn discipline, teamwork, communication, and decision-making skills. So this movement prepare young people to take up leadership positions and contribute meaningful to the society. And when we come to economic development, youth movement often organize skill acquisition programs, trainings, and also empowerment initiative to help reduce unemployment and poverty. And before this can be done, our youths must stand to their feet to innovate and create opportunities instead of depending on the government. Furthermore, the youth movement contribute to community development through volunteer services, educational support programs, environmental sanitation campaigns, and awareness. However, I believe that with these positive contributions, youth movement still face several challenges, as she said. And before this can be moved out, we have some solutions which she has mentioned, and the solutions are very okay. But for me, I would just rather conclude that youth movements are the most powerful instrument for any nation, because without the youth, there is no nation. So when youth are united, empowered, and properly guided, they can transform the society and build a better future for generations to come. So therefore, every nation must recognize the importance of its youth, because the youth are the key order of the nation, and with their support and their effort, I know that the nation will grow and develop. Thank you all.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So without the youth, there is no nation. Thank you so much for your contribution. We sincerely appreciate. Abraham Olem, please can you unmute for your contribution or question?
Thank you very much. Now, I am very delighted to be directing the conversation with Roy. Just to say that as youth, we have been lamenting, crying, and shouting that we have not been given leadership opportunities, that there are no more opportunities for us. I also join in this lamentation. I feel bad and I share this weakness. However, we have to be realistic to ourselves that nobody has ever been offered freedom to liberty on the platter of gold. Never has it happened anywhere. And I do not think that it will begin with us. We must know that if we your voices will be heard, and we have to take responsibility. Uh, a nation cannot excel without the participation of its youth. The decline in the active participation of the youth will eventually lead to the decline in the nation's ability. However, this participation is something that we ourselves have to wake up to the task. It's not for us to be crying that they are not giving it. We have to take it using all the ethical means possible. So please, I want to urge us that having listened to the wonderful presentation like this one, we will have it in mind that nobody will come and give us the privilege or opportunity, or rather, we will create it. And this is one step towards achieving that. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right, thank you, sir. God bless you too. Please, ma'am, please, Yemisi Kuti, can you unmute, please, for your contribution or question?
That's Auntie Yemisi.
Sorry, Yemisi, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's
please,
grandma.
ma'am.
That's actually grandma.
Sorry, unmute.
Hello, guys. I have unmuted. I am so happy to be with all of you.
Welcome,
yes, I was listening to the presenter and I was saying, wow, awesome. And Auntie Jumoke also said a number of the things I would have liked to have said about how insightful, how powerful, how inspiring the speaker was. And everybody who has spoken after that has also reinforced the fact that the young people are prepared and ready to govern this nation. And they're also preparing themselves to govern the nations properly, effectively, honestly, compassionately. But as everybody knows, talk is cheap. We can make powerful statements, we can say beautiful speeches. Even the worst leaders in the world, Hitler was a very good orator. can say fantastic things. But how do we ensure that we follow up with the right action? How do we ensure that we continue to discipline ourselves individually? Because without your capacity to curb your natural instincts to do the wrong things, you will fall along the wayside, just like so many other leaders have. They may start off with good intentions, but if they don't constantly hold themselves accountable, curb your not normal human instincts to be a little bit greedy, to be a little bit arrogant, to be a little bit, full of yourself, to be a little bit proud instead of being humble, to be a little bit driven by personal ambition. If you're not able to do that, then all these wonderful words would go to waste. But it's wonderful that you're saying the right things, but the test is in the eating of the pudding. It's how you actualize those words, those thoughts, those creative thinking and ideas that you have. And you cannot do it alone. Nobody has all the answers. Nobody has all the powers. So it's important that you collaborate effectively. And then you plan. And you are, as the speaker said, you are ready to go the long haul and not give up. Be consistent, be determined. It's going to take time. There's no magic to solving these problems are humongous. And most nations that you see that are where they are today, if you read the history, I love history because it gives me some clarity about the challenges that other people or other nations have had and how they overcame their own challenges. The methodology may be a little bit different from what they did, but understanding history gives you some clarity of where people come from, where humanity has come from, where the different ideologies that have morphed and control our world, why people are thinking the way they are, behaving the way they are. You'll have a better understanding of where humanity, the path that humanity has trod, and it will guide the decisions and the clarity you will have in facing the challenges that you're facing. But having said all that, I'm truly proud of the fact that you are working together, you are determined to make a difference, and you know that you need to make a lot of sacrifice to do it. And we'll be here cheering for you, supporting you, knowing that you understand that the democracy you even have, the opportunity that you have to speak to each other and not get locked up was gained by people who sacrifice blood, sweat, and tears to get to even where we are, where we have a little bit of the freedom, individual freedom. Although it's not perfect, but at least it's better than where we were, where we had no controls, when we were under the jackboot of military regimes, that if you spoke anything that was just even close to disagreeing with them, you weren't arrested by police. It's not NSAS that you're going to be dealing with. It's somebody just take you and kill you, you know? And I know how frightening those days were when we were fighting the military. I was arrested, tear gas, interrogated. So it was very tough times, and many people have died. So I really urge you to continue to appreciate where you are today and not spend a lot of time just lamenting and saying things are terrible. Things are terrible everywhere. Even you talk to an American now, we tell you that the gas of petrol has gone up. There's always problem in the world. I have 4 children. They're all graduates doing fantastic things like you. And the first thing I taught them was that life is a problem-solving exercise. You cannot be somebody who's always complaining about one thing or the other. You are here to solve problems. So you better get your brain into that problem solving mode and enjoy the process. That, oh, you are even being gifted, you are privileged to be one of those that are solving problems. You're not actually the problem yourself. So, having said those words, I don't want to take too much of your time. I would just want to reinforce the fact that I'm very proud of you. We're all very proud of you in ALG and Tri-Africa, and we see great things happening from this movement. We believe in you. We know you can do it. And we know that if you just join hands and support each other and hold each other accountable, if somebody is deviating, the group should come together and circle them and say, what's the problem? Where are you going? How can we make sure that you are one of those that will be one of the conquerors at the end of this journey? So I wish you luck, and I want to continue to tell you that we continue to love you. We're very proud of you. Just go for it, guys. We know you can do it. Take care now, and God bless.
Thank you so much, Ma. We really appreciate. God bless you too. Thank you so much for the words of encouragement. All right, so we have two more hands raised, and you have 2 minutes each for your questions or contributions, so that we can take our our closing remark from Mrs. Jumoke. Mommy, please, you give us our closing remark, and we'll be having our vote of thanks from our South Regional Coordinator. All right, so please, Mr. Abubakar Yusuf. Abubakar, your hands.
I believe that is
Eh,
King Henry. He's had his
we
hand
should
up for a
allow
long time.
the president to talk.
Yeah. Henry,
Yeah, thank you so much, ma, for saving me. I've been tired raising my hand.
your hand was
I'm
getting
sorry.
tired.
And I want to appreciate Auntie MEC for always being there for the youth and supporting us all the way. Thank you so much, ma. Yeah, I joined late. I think it was like 1 or 2 minutes before Adele finished her speech, right? It's a female, I think. Yeah. So, and she, well, I want to appreciate the beautiful contribution, your speech, and the presentation. At least, even though I wasn't there the full time, at least a lot of people have acknowledged it was well presented. So thank you so much for your insights. And the other thing I wanted to add was that, while closing, I think 1 minute before you finish your presentation, you said something like protests, that youth movement should not be about protests, that is not what. And I have listened to such narrative, in Nigeria, just trying to discourage people from protests. I think that narrative is wrong. Protest is part of democracy, and protest is also part of governance. What is wrong, is actually riots, which is a violent way of protest. I think we should be able to distinguish between riots and protests. If followers and the people feel their voices are not heard by maybe dialogue, diplomacy, they have the right to hit the street. That is part of democracy. However, there's a process to hitting the street. You have to apply for permits. You have to make the authorities be aware of what you are doing, not only to guide for your protection. It's also to save lives and property in case those that are not part of the organizers hijack that process. So So protest is part of democracy. Protest is part of voices being heard. And then that is what we should encourage. We shouldn't go back to the days of people trying to censor voices of the people. So I just wanted to clarify that so that, when TYM movement youths are going to have a protest, it's going to be peaceful, and our voices will be heard loud and clear. And we are not going to venture into any form of riot, violence, disturbance, or what have you. So I just wanted to chip that in. And secondly, is for us to be able to get more of the youth to be part of the town hall. I try to scroll down the attendance, and this is virtually like a executive meeting. All the DNCs, all the states directors and national officers are here. But that shows that we still have a long way to go. We need to reach out to the members. We want them to be part of discussion like this. We want them to learn what we are learning, because if they are not part of this discussion, that means we are going to be trying to now explain what has happened. So it's going to require more work to do that. So I want to encourage us, particularly the state directors, and the other ESCO members to do more to get your members to be part of meetings like this. We have ESCOs in all the 36 states of the Federation, including Abuja. So if we even said we should take attendance of the ESCOs, we are going to be close to 200 in meetings like this, not to talk of the other members. So it shows that we still have a lot of work to do. Yeah, thank you once again for gathering like this, for standing up to be counted as a youth of Nigeria. And I know that we are going to achieve our aims and objectives, sooner than later. Thank you, and God bless.
All right, thank you, sir. Please, just for posterity's sake, I actually said youth movements are not just about protest. I did not totally disclaim protest. I only said that we should also imbibe the purpose culture. We should not just make it about protest. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much, sir. We sincerely appreciate your contribution. All right, so we have just one hand left. Mr. Abubakar Yusuf Abubakar, please can you give us your contributions or your question?
Okay, thank you for having me, and thank you for giving us this opportunity. I want to sincerely appreciate everyone that is here, and I want to thank our elders that are here present. We really appreciate your presence. Secondly, I just want to contribute, to what she said. It has been unfortunate for us, the youth of nowadays. When you look at it, the former president, Yakubu Gowon, when he ruled Nigeria, he was in his 30s. And then he was not even married. So you could imagine how far our youths of today, are in trouble. When you look at it today, you see a youth that is over 40 years old, but he doesn't even know his direction. He doesn't even know where the country is moving. So that is how unfortunate, leadership in Nigeria has turned our youth. So I want to call on the youth present here, and every youth that will hear this message, and Nigerian youths, let us all rise up, form a formidable force, forget about our differences, because these politicians have learned that it's only when they use our differences, the religion, the tribe, the region, I am a so tribe. They have used that to weaponize, different kind of calamity within the youth. So I want to call on all of you, to unite ourselves from the north to the south to the east to the west. Let the youth unite. Let us participate in government. Go and have your voters card. Be part of the Tri-Africa Youth Movement. Engage your friends, your family, everybody that you know. Let us come united. Let us have members, Tri-Africa Youth members. Let us obtain our voters card. That is the only, time we can have say in the government. Some people say, oh, even if you vote, they are going to rig it. But when you are voting, wait to observe your vote? Have you wait at the polling unit to say, okay, let me monitor my vote? These are the rights. These are your rights. Voting is your right. When the government the system is not working, the government is supposed to make it work. If the system is not working, you, the members, the public, you are supposed to hold the leaders accountable. When you cannot hold them accountable, when it comes to vote, you vote them out of power. So that is how things work. But then when you don't, you say you don't care about things, that is how you see a youth at 50 in Nigeria, he doesn't even know what has been happening. So I all remain united, let us all remain united, to solve the problem we have in this country. We have been saying we the youth are the future of tomorrow, but tomorrow is today. So please, let us all unite and take control of the politics and the governance. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We sincerely appreciate. Thank you for your contribution, your insightful contribution. All right, so um, we'll be taking closing remark, and our VP, Mrs. Jumoke Ma, please be taking the closing remark, while our South Regional Coordinator, Mr. Comrade Paul, will be taking the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much. I really don't have anything else to add to all the brilliant contributions on this platform from Adele to everyone that contributed, to my auntie, and just again to re-emphasize that we are here to support in every way that we can. And just listening to you gives us hope. I don't want to belabor the issue and kind of reiterate everything that have been spoken before, but just to lend my voice and just to say you're really you are onto something great, and we're looking forward to you just taking your respective position across the country. God bless you, and God bless your effort. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. God bless you, Paul. Okay, our South Regional Coordinator, Mr. Sunday Paul, can you please do the vote of thanks while we call it a night?
All right. On behalf of the organizers of this meeting, I sincerely appreciate every one of you that have taken out time to be part of today's program. Our special appreciation goes to the guest speaker for the insight and inspiriting presentation. Your words have enlightened and motivated and challenged us to become active contributors to national growth and development. We also appreciate the host, the leadership team, the moderator, the organizers, the technical crew, and every participant whose presence and contributions has made this meeting successful. To everybody present, I really thank you and I appreciate our national leaders, our president, the vice president, the national coordinator, and the all the DNCs, the state directors, all members that are present. We really thank you. Once again, we thank everybody for coming and for joining us in this program. Thank you very much, and we appreciate. God bless you, and God bless Nigeria.
All right, God bless you. So finally, we'll be taking our closing prayer, and that will be taken by Mr. Tom Wisdom, River State Secretary. Mr. Tom Wisdom, please take the closing prayer.
All right. Shall we pray? Looking up to Christ Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, our beloved Father, we thank you for the grace that you have bestowed upon us to have assembled here tonight. We have deliberated, however, we believe as a team, as a movement, that the accomplishment of all that has been deliberated here tonight would only come from your grace. And we know that at the power at the risen Jesus, that grace had already been bestowed upon us. We know of the fact that many more of your blessings already is added onto our request tonight. This we pray in Jesus' powerful name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for making our time. We appreciate your contributions, your questions. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
All right. Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Night.
Good night. Thank you
Bye,
all.
sir. God
Bye.
bless you
You.
all. Have
God
a
bless you.
lovely
Bye.
week. Bye.
Bye. Good night, Auntie. Thank you so much
Good night,
for
my
always
dear.
being here.
Always.
Always. Always.
Everyone.
Thank you, Auntie Ransom Kutima. Thank you so much.
The king.
I don't know.